Hey guys, how's it going? This is James from Butler Farms, and just wanted to bring you a real quick video about something I've been thinking about here a lot lately. I know some of you have watched my seed starting videos and you're very familiar with what I've got here, where I make my own potting soil. I make the soil blocks. I can usually get about somewhere between 20 and 25 soil blocks in here if they don't fall apart. And then, as you can see, the holes in the bottom, and I set it inside these big tubs, and this is what I had at the time, and this is what I've used for years, and it's worked very, very well. The water wicks up from the bottom, and it does a pretty good job. Like I said, I've been using it for years and I've been very happy with it. But I want to show you something that I found today. Actually, I saw some yesterday, and then I found some more at a different spot today. These came from Walmart. Some of you may recognize the name at the top, the Fairy Morse. A lot of times at these big box stores, Lowe's and Walmart and places like that, their seeds are by this brand. I was actually in a dollar store yesterday and saw some on the shelf, and I got to thinking about it and didn't really know if I wanted to try these or not. They do feel pretty cheaply made, but we'll get back to that in just a minute. But I decided not to do it. I decided, well, I've already got this setup that I've been using for so long. But today, as I was thinking about it more and more, I got to thinking about how much time it takes me to be able to make those soil blocks. It is very time consuming and can be very frustrating if you don't get the moisture content just right. They fall apart before you can do what you need to do with them, before the roots kind of hold them together. They grow into each other, so when you do separate them out, they end up having roots that are crossing over to other blocks and those kind of things. So, and I'm still going to use this system this year to a certain extent, but I had to go to Walmart today after church. It's one of those necessary evils, I guess. Sometimes I try to stay out of there, but if I'm going to go, I'm at least going to walk through the the garden and lawn section just to see what's over there. And I saw these, and the strange thing about them was the price that I saw yesterday, and like I said, it was a different brand, a brand I didn't even recognize. The price in the dollar store yesterday was a lot more, and I don't know if I don't know what was going on really. This is a brand that I actually recognize, and I was able to get this set up here for tax and everything almost right at $5. Now, and it does seem to be a little bit higher quality than the one I saw in the dollar store. Now, let me explain to you what I'm thinking here. Obviously, you can see here on the label that there are 72 different cells. So I got 2 of them. So that's 144 plants, and I'm just going to give them a shot, and I'll show you why right now. I've already got this one open here, and the first thing that I notice is the solid bottom. Well, that kind of takes the place of these deep trays that I've been using over here, and if you notice, it's ribbed. It's got some raised places on it, and that is to allow it to get up off the bottom, to have some oxygen under there for the roots and those kind of things. But being solid, it will hold water, and so I can steal water from the bottom, which, as you can see in the bottom of each one of these cells, there are slits there that will allow water to wick up from the bottom. I don't have to top water them, and they get what they need. The plants know better than I do what they need, and so all I got to do is provide the water in the bottom tray, and they will wick up through the soil like that. So once I set those in there, that's a done deal. Another thing that I like about it is this additional piece. Now, in my seed starting video, I told you that when I'm using these trays, I always cover them with a piece of saran wrap, and that gets pretty difficult, to say the least. This is not something that saran wrap likes to stick to, so I have to make it much longer and wrap it, which causes a problem on the bottom, because now oxygen can't get up through there even if it wasn't standing in water. The saran wrap is not really wide enough this way to sufficiently cover it. It slides all the time, and if I want to see the germination, I have to actually take the saran wrap off of it to be able to see. Well, these have locking clear lids, which will give that same greenhouse effect that I do with my saran wrap to get germination going. But very easily, as I go around and look, I can see each individual cell, and if I need to, from the condensation inside, I can simply bump it and knock that condensation down, and I can check and see how many of them are actually germinating. So it's basically what I've been doing, but it's I don't have to worry about soil blocks. I don't have to take that time doing it, and time is very, very important for me. It is, as you know, I work a full-time job off of the farm, and actually I have 2 jobs off of the farm, and so when I do have time for seed starting and everything, I am out here to all hours of the night during that time of year, getting those racks full of soil blocks and planting those seeds. This, I think, is going to save me a lot of time. Now, the reason that I went with the cheap ones from Walmart is I am going to try them this year and see. I don't have, there's no doubt in my mind that these are 1 to 2 year at best deals here. There is a way that you can, as you can see right there, it tells you how to not only clean them but disinfect them and use them again. I'm going to try to be very careful with them and see how many years I can get out of them. There are some of the seed companies that I order from. Not only do they sell seeds, they also sell seeding equipment, and so they have some of these that are much higher quality. So if I find out that I like this, I will probably invest in some in the future that will just cut down on that amount of time, because as I said, all I have to do is pack these cells full with my potting mix and tamp it down in there, and I can plant my seeds, and it's a done deal. I don't have to sit there and try to replace soil blocks that have fallen apart and try to dig them out if they do start falling apart and that kind of thing. One other thing that I like is the shape of them. As you can see, they are not round, and that's something that I've had trouble with before. Once I pot up to something round, I showed you in my other video, I just use red Solo cups. Now, generally they don't stay in the cups long enough to get root bound, but some that I've had over the years that I didn't get out in time, or I was trying to find a place for them because I had too many of them. By the time I got them out of this cup, the roots were just as round as the inside of that cup. Now, the idea behind these hexagon shapes here is that it won't do that. So when the roots get to the side of the cell, it's not going to wrap around, it's going to grow down toward that water. Now, once they get up to a little bit of size, I am still going to move them over to my Solo cups. I reuse these every year over and over and over, and I'll scratch through. For instance, this was a Cherokee bell pepper from Hoss Tools. I will clean that out and sterilize it, disinfect it, and use it again. And like I said, most of the time I am able to get them in the ground before they do get root bound. But I'm kind of excited about this. I think it's going to be a time saver more than anything. I've always looking for ways to be able to just be able to spend more time doing what I want to do instead of some of the more monotonous type stuff like building soil blocks. As I said earlier in the video, I am still going to make soil blocks this year. 144 cells is not going to be sufficient for all the different plants that I start, because not only do I start my own for my own garden and to place around in some different areas around the yard and around other parts of the property, I also sell some. So the more that I have, the more I have available to sell and to try to help out on that end. So I'm still going to use my soil blocks, but if this is something that works real well, like I said, I will probably go to Hoss Tools or some other similar place that I normally buy seeds from and invest in something a little bit higher quality. You know, I've never been extremely impressed with Fairy Moore seeds. As you can see, I do have some laying right here for some of the flowers that I plant and those kind of things. And they're hit or miss. You kind of get what you pay for, and that's going to be the same way with this. It's like I said, it's pretty thin, but I'm going to be careful with it. I'm going to take care of it, and I'm going to see if it will improve not only the being root bound in these round cups, but I also want to see if it'll cut down on a lot of the time that I have to spend making those soil blocks that I can do other things. So anyway, it gets me excited. It's very, very cold out here in the shop right now, and I just wanted to show you that and show you some different ways that I'm thinking about starting seeds this year. Seeds are already coming in. I got my shipment from Hall Seeds the other day. I've got, and I'm still waiting on some from Baker Creek and Southern Exposure Seed Exchange. They're on the way. So even though it's cold now, spring is coming, and I'm looking forward to it. And looking forward to start getting some seeds in and start getting them up, and can't wait to get them in the garden. So I'm gonna let you go, and I will see you next time. And I hope you're staying warm. I hope you're thinking about and planning about what you're going to do as far as growing some of your own food this year. As always, I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe and share it with your friends and tell others about it. And until next time, this is James from Butler Farms.